of the Avalon Medical School and the faculty members of the medical school. Distinguished guests, friends and family of the graduating class, and most important of all, you, the graduating class, Avalon 2013. I want to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this beautiful, gorgeous day and such an important day in your lives. As all of us sometime today earlier were getting ready to come here, we all looked at ourselves in a mirror. Some of us briefly, some of us a little longer, and maybe some of us for a very long time. And what we saw when we looked at ourselves in the mirror is who we are today, how we look today. That is what the mirror showed us. But if we had taken time to look a little more, that mirror probably could reflect what we will be like in years to come, in decades to come. And that is what I want to look at. Medicine, physician that you all are, will be very soon. Through this glass, through the looking glass, A for today as you graduate, but equally important or more important over the years, what you will do, what you all will be able to accomplish. A physician is an extremely important person in society. Each and every one of you has become that very special person. You have been fortunate that in the years to come, thousands of people will rely on you for their health, for their happiness, and wish you well because of what you have been able to do for them. It has been about 40 years since I took the oath for the very first time. And of course, I took it again with my son when he graduated, and definitely will be joining you all today to take the oath again. And to this day, so many years have gone by, I still am in awe of that honor that I have been able to have as a physician, and which you will all be having very soon. With that special position that you have in society also comes certain amount of responsibility. And each and every one of you must remember that as you move along, this special place that you have in society comes with that responsibility. And make sure that you meet that challenge day in and day out. Some of you, mainly the family, the parents, and our generation, maybe remember a TV show called MASH, where Alan Alda played the role of the MD in that TV series, MASH. My favorite line in that TV show was when Alan Alda would say, "The head bone is connected to the heart bone, and make sure that these two bones always remain connected and they never separate." Your patient that you will be seeing very soon has a medical condition. That is why he or she is there to see you. But remember, that patient is not a number. That patient is a human being. Cultivate that art of being able to talk with your patients. Spend that extra 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds with that patient of yours. Something on a personal basis, obviously appropriate. And you will realize that that is extremely important. In the early phases of your practice, it will be the patient sharing their stories with you. But over years, it will be you who will be telling stories of your child, of your children, of your grandchildren, sharing those stories. In the years that you have been in medical school, you all have been taught, and I'm sure extremely well, the science of medicine. That science needs to be coupled with the art of medicine. And when you do both, the science and the art of medicine, it will take you a long way. Be always personable. That is important in medicine. You are a professional every single moment of the day. It is daunting for you to realize that's what you are. Days can be very challenging. Some days on the home front, some days with your professional colleagues, and some days all other challenges could all come, and sometimes all at the same time. But remember that when that hand of yours goes on the doorknob and you walk into the patient's room, your personal life is behind you, and what you are is a professional. Every single time, every single day, as your hand goes on the doorknob. It is daunting to think that is how you're going to conduct yourself. But remember, that is how it is for every profession. And for us, this is the only profession that we know. So you need to be professional every single day. And as our Chancellor said in his opening remarks, you need to be always current with your knowledge. Your education, the wonderful education you've had over the last 4 years and more, is not all over. It is a solid foundation, a wonderful foundation. You need to build on that on a continual, constant basis. You need to be current so that you're always treating your patient with the latest guidelines. Be personable, be professional, and always be current and state-of-the-art. Today, I thought I would just focus on 2 issues. The challenges that we all face in medicine and some of the paradigm shifts that have occurred in medicine. Every generation faces its own challenges. The landscape, when Chancellor Fateh and myself went into medicine, is very different than what it is today. You need to know what the landscape is. You need to know the various forces that are in play. That is the difference between somebody who takes charge in control or somebody who just coasts along. So you do need to know where we are in medicine today and what the changes will be for you in the next decade and the decades to come. Unsustainable costs of healthcare. That is today's reality. I'm sure even in medical schools you would be taught or heard about how expensive it is to deliver healthcare in this country and maybe in the world. And here we have to balance in the right way, appropriately, giving good, adequate, state-of-the-art medical care on the one hand, and on the other hand, being aware of what the cost factor is. The public's demand, the patient's demand, that they get more from the dollars that they have spent on healthcare, on their insurance. That is the current landscape. Our payers, our various insurances are expecting you, me, and all of us to have demonstrable results of how our patients are doing. That is the current landscape. And the whole concept of fee-for-service is being revisited. These are some of our challenges. These are some of the changes we will see on the fiscal side. And look at on the medical side. We have a mounting epidemic of chronic, unremitting disease, something that will be your responsibility tomorrow on and for decades to come. We have healthcare disparities, both in terms of access and in terms of the health itself. Once again, a reality that we all will have to face with. These are some of our challenges. This is what our landscape is today in 2013. 2014 is going to be different, and you need to be nimble. You need to be aware that as you practice medicine, no matter where you are, it does not matter what state, and as the Chancellor said, it does not matter medicine in what form. Some of you may go into research, some of you may go into policy making, and some of you may be in different forms of the profession. But you need to be nimble and aware of what our landscapes look like. And look at some of the paradigm shifts that have occurred in medicine. Autonomy is shifting to accountability. The old adage was, for me, for the Chancellor, when we were into medical school and starting our practices, trust me and believe me, is what the doctor would say. You can just imagine a scene by Norman Rockwell, where you have the all-knowing doctor telling his very attentive, very dutiful patient what to do, what not to do, no questions asked. The paradigm shift has occurred. And the new paradigm shift is no decision about me without me. The patient is having a voice, will have a voice, and therefore something that all of you need to be very aware of and conscious. We are all stewards, and we need to be prudent stewards of our resources. Our medical resources are limited. Our financial resources very limited. And we need to be sure that this steward that you have now become, or will become in a very short period of time, that you take care, and that shift has occurred. From the huge amount that was available, tests that we could do, consultations we could do, as many as we wanted, with the best interest of the patient at heart. But now, because of limited resources, because of that shift, we have to make the right balance. And a very important shift that has occurred is for a physician who was the captain, who was the authoritative captain. His word or her word went, and no questions asked. Now, we all realize with the paradigm shift, we are very important members. We have a big voice, a major voice, but we are a team. We work together. Healthcare here, healthcare globally, is no longer delivered by the MD alone. It is an MD in conjunction with his whole team, her whole team. We are very important team members, but we need to know how to be an efficient and effective team member. These are some of the paradigm shifts that have already occurred as we speak. And for you, need to be sure that you're constantly vigilant, looking at what has happened to the landscape and what has happened to the paradigm shifts. As I look from here and look at all of you, I know that wonderful things are going to happen. You will be taking care of patients' lives. You will be solving medical mysteries. And some of you may even invent technological wonders. The world is limitless. The sky is the limit. And so, grope for the stars, aim high, and make sure that you do not restrict yourself in just that one path. Explore. Regrets are born of never taken. Challenge yourself and try to do what you can and a little more. Because at the end of the day, it will be, I assure you, more than rewarding, it will be fulfilling. When tragedy occurs, maybe not even tragedy, when there's an atrocity that happens, and as you all know, in Newtown, Connecticut, we had the atrocity where I come from. We all heard and saw the atrocities in the Boston Marathon. When those atrocities happen, we, as medical care people, have a special role. When Boston was in a lockdown, it was the medical community, it was the physicians, it was our entire team that had the right to travel wherever they wanted so that they could do the service. They could take care of the people in need. So as you pause and reflect, our profession, it's our profession that is life-saving, life-restoring, life-enriching. And you are so privileged with this wonderful education that you've had, and to move on, to be a part and parcel of that profession that is truly life-enriching. So on behalf of all the lives that you will touch, all the lives that you will improve, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, because you will make a difference. Each and every one of you will contribute to this, our beautiful country, and maybe to the world at large. And as I say thank you to you, it is also time for you to say your thank yous. Your thank you first to your family, who has been there with you all the time, supporting you, helping you accomplish your dream, your goal. Your first thank you to your family. And then to your faculty on both sides, here on the island as well as in Ohio, for all that they have done to make sure that you have a full experience. They have taught you, they've guided you, put so much of ours into teaching you all along. And I'm sure quite often prodding you as well when you needed to be prodded, so that you could be here on this beautiful day. And then thank each other. Thank each other. I'm thinking back to my own medical school days. And if it had not been for my friends, people who I trained with, people who you lived with, yes, they were not your brothers and sisters, but they are. Because without each other, without the support that you have given each other, you could not be here today. So thank your family. Thank you. Thank your family, the faculty, and extremely important, the friends, your lifelong friends. In closing, I want to reminisce on the words of Dr. Seuss. Here is what the great doctor had to say. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Your brain's in your head, your feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You are on your own, and you know what you know. And you alone are the guide that is going to decide where you are going. But all of that, as the Chancellor said, and the other speakers before me said, all of that is about tomorrow. It's about those beautiful tomorrows that will come. day after day. But today, as we speak, it's all about you. It's your joy, your pride, your achievements, and your well-deserved celebrations. I offer you my very best. Success, congratulations, class of 2013, good luck.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Srinivasan, for addressing